Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician, and today we're going to be going into the Amazon website and checking out some of the Amazon Basics brand tools that they offer. And I found 4 of the most highly rated tools that Amazon Basics offer. So we're just going to quickly go over them. I'll kind of share my thoughts with you guys, and let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. So first up, we're looking at the Amazon Basics 3-piece quick release groove joint pliers set. So these are basically a knockoff Cobra, obviously not made in Germany. You get a 7-inch, 10-inch, and 12-inch pair, and while these definitely are not going to be the same quality, you get kind of the same design. You do have opposing teeth up there in the open jaws, and you do have that locking button. You are losing out on some of the teeth. There's definitely fewer locking positions that you would find on some of the higher end pliers of this design, but I don't think it's a horrible design for a knockoff. You get the dual dipped handles with kind of that grit style rubber. They're chrome vanadium. There you can kind of see some of the dimensions of it all, and they do have small vertical teeth in the flat jaw portion at the end as well. It's hard to see, but it does show them in the image. That's why I was trying to find a better image for you guys, because here it doesn't really show. It just looks flat up there, but there are small teeth up in the end for gripping. So these are at $26.59, and even with some of the cheaper brands, some of the no-name brands or brands that you haven't really came across or heard of before, a lot of them are $26 for a pair. And when you're looking at Cobras, you're looking at probably, I'd say, at least $30 for a single set, which, while I believe Knipex makes a fantastic set of pliers, and I absolutely love them, never had an issue with them, and will gladly continue to purchase Knipex pliers. If you're a weekend warrior DIYer and you're just looking for that design, something that you may use every once in a while, I mean, I think these are going to hold up for, some DIY weekend warrior type of use. Now, obviously, if these are going to be pliers that you use every single day and you do pretty abusive work, then yeah, I'd probably step it up. But I think $26 for 3 different pairs, I think it's worth a shot. I think it's worth considering. It has 4.5 stars at 1,469 ratings, so I don't think it's a bad deal. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. Next up are the Amazon Basics Flex Head Ratcheting Wrenches. This is a 10-piece set, and it is a metric set, even though they don't want to mention that up in the title. So I do believe these are just a 72 tooth design. They do have a non-flex head version available as well, and that is at $30. They are chrome vanadium, 72 tooth design, 180 degree of flex head, 5 degree arc swing. The sizes, there are going to be skips. You're not going to get a 9, an 11, a 16, or an 18. Some of those I wish were included, but a couple of them aren't a big deal, but I do like my no skip sizes. But if you're just looking for a cheap set of flex head ratcheting wrenches, this has a typical price of $41 down to $39, so a couple dollars savings here, but it does have 4.5 stars at 2,769 ratings. I mean, honestly, the quality doesn't look any worse than some of the other brands that I've seen out there that sell for, $60, $70 for a set like this. While there are definitely some cheaper options out there, some of the cheaper options, you can clearly see defects and flaws in the material, which you kind of expect when you get into the super cheap stuff. But honestly, they don't look too bad. I mean, as long as the ratcheting mechanism works reliably and doesn't jam up or anything like that. Just simple laser engraving there with the Amazon Basics logo. There you can see a little bit of information on that if you'd like to pause and read that. The basic idea: highly rated products at low prices. And I just wanted to do a video just on some of the Amazon Basics most rated hand tools, because at one point I was just getting on to look at tool deals for the week, and I just kept coming across more and more and more Amazon Basics products. And so I decided, well, let me just, check out some of these. And honestly, a few of them don't seem too bad. No, I don't think any of them are going to be great for the professional field or anything like that. Or if you're a weekend warrior DIYer that does a lot of work, or the work that you do is extremely abusive, probably not the best. But for just a typical DIYer weekend warrior, I think this is an option that could save you some money and get you by without any issues. Once again, I don't have any personal experience with these items, but I figured it was at least worth doing a video on because they are reviewed and rated quite highly and quite a bit. So let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. Next up are the Amazon Basics 3-piece pliers set, long reach pliers set. And you can get a set very similar to this at Harbor Freight. I know they at least have the 2-piece sets. I don't know if they have the 3-piece set. If they do, let me know down in the comments. And if you know the price of those, let me know. But this has a typical price of basically $24, and it's at $18.75. So pretty good savings there and a pretty good price. I have the Pittsburgh long reach pliers, the straights and the 45. And while they do have some flexibility and, you know, they're not the best pliers in the world, I've had them for almost 10 years and they're still going strong. I still use them pretty often, even though I have a ridiculous amount of pliers, and I have the Knipex ones and some Gear Wrench ones and another brand. I have many other options that I could go with. I've had these for many years and I got them for dirt cheap, and no, while they're not the best quality, they've held up just fine and they still have their place. So I think for under $19 for this 3-piece set, you get the straight, 45, and a 90-degree pair for under $20. I think that's a great deal. It has 4.6 stars at 3,230 ratings, so rated very highly and rated a lot. I don't think it's a bad option at all. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. And then last up is the Amazon Basics 3/8 drive 6-point impact socket set. This is a 44-piece set, and they have a couple different options available. They have one that's available with a ratchet. I don't like the impact socket sets when they include a ratchet, because then makes me feel like they're not really intended for impact use, but that's just how I feel. These are at $55.42, and I want to say they were around $48 when I originally found them, but then they just dropped off of Amazon for like 2 weeks and then they finally came back. So I don't know if it was a restocking or if there was a change or what, but they do have a couple different options available here. They have just a socket set available, 1/4-inch drive, and these are external Torx for $15. This has 4.6 stars at 1,259 ratings, and it looks like a pretty good selection of sockets, nothing super fancy or anything like that. But here you can see when it comes to the metric stuff, you get extremely large sockets. If you've ever needed a 190 millimeter socket, this is definitely the set to go with. Obviously, they made a mistake, because nobody's going to need an 80 millimeter to 190 millimeter socket. They accidentally put centimeter. Hopefully they can get that fixed, but not a big deal. 8 millimeter to 19 millimeter, which is your standard coverage for a 3/8 drive socket set. When it comes to the SAE, down here you have 5/16 to 1/2 inch, then 9/16 to 3/4. And then over here in the deep well, you have 5/16 to 3/4. So you got the same coverage, shallow and deep. They just broke it up. So for the metric, you do have your standard coverage from 8 millimeter to 19 millimeter. 3/8 drive, that's basic coverage. SAE, you have 5/16 to 3/4 in shallow, and same thing for the deep well. Then you get a couple extensions and an adapter reducer and a universal joint. So I think it's, it's your basic coverage, basic quality. I do believe they're chromoly. They are chromoly. They're just laser engraved on one side, and I do believe they're stamped. There you can see. For $55, I mean, it's a pretty good 3/8 drive impact socket set. So that is the 4 items that I found from Amazon Basics that are rated highly and rated quite a bit, and they have many others, but I feel like these are the 4 items that people would actually get use out of. They do have a lot of miscellaneous little things here and there, but please let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. If you're a weekend warrior DIYer that just does a little bit of work here and there, maybe getting into just doing your own automotive work, then is this something that you would consider, or is this something you would stay away from and go somewhere else? But please let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. Also keep in mind that I will have these products linked down in the description if anybody is interested in them. I think a lot of these are pretty good deals, just depending on the amount of work that you do and the amount of abuse that you may put the tools through. But if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys next time.